All right, so today we're diving deep into AI stocks, specifically ones that could be set for some big growth in 2025. Our roadmap. An article from the Motley Fool, and they're making a pretty bold claim. They say investing just $500 this year could lead to, well, let's just say impressive returns, all thanks to a huge shift happening in AI right now, and they call it agentic AI.
That's right.
Intrigued? I think you should be. We're going to break down exactly what that means. And we'll also be checking out how even some familiar companies like, I don't know, Amazon and Google are starting to become major players in this whole AI thing.
Yeah, I mean, 2024 saw some pretty big market gains driven by AI. But the Motley Fool and many analysts are convinced this momentum isn't going anywhere. This isn't just some, passing trend. It's a true technological revolution.
Okay, so let's unpack this whole agentic AI concept, because it sounds, well, kind of complex.
Agentic AI is basically referring to AI agents that can actually reason. They can solve problems. And they can, get this, take action. Think of it like this. AI is evolving from just processing information to actually making decisions and getting things done. And this could have a transformative impact across just about every industry you can think of.
So it's not just like an AI, say, writing you an email. It's more like an AI scheduling your entire day based on what you need to get done and then making sure it all happens.
Exactly. It goes even further than that, though. Imagine AI agents negotiating contracts, managing entire supply chains, or even doing scientific research. The possibilities are, well, pretty mind-blowing.
So with all this rapid change, where are the investment opportunities? The Motley Fool are pointing to NVIDIA. This is a company to watch. What makes them stand out?
Well, NVIDIA is just dominating the AI market right now. There's no question about it. They're involved in literally every stage of AI development, from the chips that power it to the software that lets us use it. Jensen Huang, their CEO, he said something really interesting recently. He pointed out that $1 trillion worth of computers all around the world need to be upgraded to handle what AI needs, what they call accelerated computing. And this isn't something that happens overnight. This is going to take time, which means there's going to be continued demand for NVIDIA's products, for the foreseeable future.
They're not just sitting back and relaxing, are they? I read that their new product, the Blackwell architecture, it's seeing staggering demand.
Oh, absolutely. NVIDIA is constantly innovating, making sure they stay ahead of the curve. That commitment to being on the cutting edge, I think that's a really strong indicator of their potential for, continued growth in this AI market.
All right, let's switch gears for a second. Let's talk about a company that might surprise some people. Alphabet, the parent company of, good old Google. They're not necessarily the first name that pops into your head when you think AI, are they?
Yeah, it might seem kind of surprising, but Alphabet is actually using AI in some really powerful ways. First, they're using AI to make their core search business even better. And of course, to boost their ad revenue, which is, their bread and butter. But they're also using AI to really push the growth of Google Cloud, their cloud computing platform.
And that growth has been pretty impressive, hasn't it? Google Cloud just hit some major financial milestones.
Yeah, they just blew past $10 billion in quarterly revenue and get this, hit $1 billion in operating income. And a huge part of that success, AI. They're giving businesses some really sophisticated AI tools, all powered by their own large language model called Gemini. And that lets them offer businesses tailored solutions, stuff specific to their needs.
So they're not just throwing out generic AI tools, they're creating custom solutions.
Yeah.
It's almost like having your own personal AI team right at your fingertips.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And this really targeted approach, well, it's working. But here's the interesting thing. Even with all this growth and innovation, Alphabet stock is actually considered undervalued by some analysts. It's currently trading at 21 times its future earnings estimates, which, if you're looking for value in a high-growth sector, could be a real opportunity.
It makes you wonder if the market really gets how deeply AI is becoming a part of Alphabet's core businesses and the potential that holds, for future growth. Speaking of companies with their fingers in lots of different pies, Amazon is another one using the power of AI in all sorts of ways.
Right.
They're using it to make their own operations better, and they're also selling AI products and services to other companies.
Yeah, just look at how they're using AI to make their e-commerce fulfillment process more efficient. By increasing efficiency and cutting costs, all thanks to AI, they're directly impacting their bottom line. And that could really boost their e-commerce business, which, as you know, is already massive.
But we can't forget about Amazon Web Services, or AWS as everyone calls it. Their cloud computing arm, they're making some serious moves in the AI world. We're talking an annual revenue run rate of $110 billion. all from AI services.
It's amazing, right? And what makes AWS so interesting is their kind of comprehensive approach to AI. They're catering to everyone, every level of need. They're offering everything from, the actual chips to fully managed services that come with customizable large language models. They even have AI applications like Project Amelia, which is specifically designed for sellers on Amazon's platform. So whether you're a giant corporation or just a small business, AWS has got an AI solution for you.
Okay, so we've got NVIDIA dominating the hardware and software side of AI. We've got Alphabet using AI to make their already strong search, advertising, and cloud computing businesses even stronger. And then we've got Amazon using AI to optimize their own e-commerce empire and just completely dominating the cloud computing market with AWS. It's amazing to see how AI is finding its way into so many corners of the tech world.
And that's exactly what makes this such an exciting time. AI isn't just some niche technology anymore. It's becoming like this fundamental force, shaping the future of entire industries.
It feels like we're just at the beginning of this whole AI revolution, and the potential for growth is just massive. But before we jump into some specific companies to watch, I'm curious about this agentic AI concept, and the potential downsides. What kind of risks or challenges should we be thinking about as this technology keeps advancing?
Well, it's important to remember that any powerful technology comes with its own set of considerations. With agentic AI, one of the big things to watch is how it's going to impact jobs in the workforce. As these AI agents become more capable of doing these really complex tasks, there's a chance that the types of jobs that are in demand are going to change.
It's something we're already starting to see, right? I mean, AI is taking over certain tasks in all sorts of industries.
Yeah, exactly. And as agentic AI gets more and more advanced, that trend is probably going to speed up. It's not necessarily about AI replacing humans entirely, but more about AI working with humans, augmenting our capabilities, and changing, the nature of work itself.
So instead of worrying about our jobs being taken over by robots, we should be thinking about how we can adapt and prepare for a future where humans and AI are working together.
Absolutely. It's all about upskilling, reskilling, and just embracing the idea of lifelong learning so we can stay ahead of the curve. Another important thing to think about is making sure we're developing and using agentic AI responsibly. As these AI agents get more and more autonomous, we need to make sure they're operating ethically and not, perpetuating biases that already exist.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it and the safeguards we put in place. Okay, so the Motley Fool article, they highlight some smaller companies and startups that are making some noise in this space. They mention a company called, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this right, Redacted. They're developing agentic AI platforms for the financial industry. Have you heard of them?
Oh yeah, Redacted. They're definitely gaining traction in the fintech world. Their technology is helping financial institutions automate a bunch of complex tasks. Things like improving risk management and personalizing customer experiences. It's a really good example of how agentic AI is being used to, tackle real-world problems in a very specific industry.
It sounds like they're tapping into this growing need in the financial sector for automation and efficiency.
Oh, absolutely. And I think this is a key takeaway for investors. Don't just get caught up in the, hype around AI. Look for companies that are actually solving real problems and delivering real value within specific sectors.
So it's about understanding the specific ways AI is being used.
Yeah.
And how those applications are actually driving value in different industries.
Exactly. And you also have to consider the company's competitive landscape. Are they creating truly unique technologies? Are they partnering with the big players in their industry? These are the kind of things that can tell you if a company is in a good position to really capitalize on this whole agentic AI boom.
Sounds like investing in AI requires, a lot of research and due diligence.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to listeners who are maybe new to this whole AI investing world?
Well, I'd say start by making sure you have a good grasp of the basics of AI. There's tons of resources out there, both online and offline. The Motley Fool, for example, they offer a ton of great info on AI investing.
And don't be afraid to ask questions. Seek out expert advice.
Oh, for sure. Talking to financial advisors or investment professionals who specialize in AI, that can be really valuable. They can offer some great insights and guidance.
All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the broader implications of AI. Beyond just the stock market, we've talked about some of the potential risks and challenges, but I'm also interested in the potential benefits. Where do you see AI having the most positive impact in the years to come?
Well, AI has the potential to, really revolutionize so many aspects of our lives, from healthcare and education to transportation and even energy. In healthcare, it's already being used to develop new drugs, diagnose diseases earlier, and create personalized treatment plans. And in education, AI can help create adaptive learning platforms that are tailored to each student's individual needs.
It sounds like AI could have a major role in solving some of the world's, most pressing problems.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's what makes this technology so exciting. AI has the potential to make human lives better in countless ways. But it's crucial that we make sure we're developing and using it responsibly, with a focus on ethics and sustainability.
So it's not just about the technological advancements themselves, it's about the human values that guide those advancements.
Exactly. We need to make sure that AI is being used to benefit all of society, not just a select few.
Okay, before we move on to our final segment,
Right.
I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, about the possibility of AI displacing jobs. I know this is something that worries a lot of people. What advice would you give to someone who's concerned about AI's impact on their career?
My advice would be to, embrace lifelong learning and focus on developing skills that complement AI. As AI automates certain tasks, there's going to be more and more demand for people who can manage and interpret the insights that AI generates.
So it's about adapting to the changes in the job market and being proactive about developing the skills that are going to be in demand.
Exactly. And also recognizing that in the future, work will likely involve collaboration between humans and AI. It's not about one replacing the other. It's about finding ways to work together effectively.
That's a really important point. It's about seeing AI as a tool that can help us, not a threat that's going to replace us.
Exactly. And by embracing this idea of collaboration, we can harness the power of AI to create a better future for everyone.
You mentioned earlier that AI is becoming what you call a horizontal technology, kind of blurring the lines between traditional industries. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Sure, think about it this way. A company that, a few years ago would have been classified as a traditional retailer might now be using AI for, everything, their operations, logistics, even customer service. This means that investors need to look beyond those traditional industry labels and really understand how companies are actually using AI in their business models.
So AI isn't just this niche investment opportunity anymore. It's part of the whole market, which makes predicting future trends and categorizing companies even more difficult.
Yeah, that's exactly right. AI isn't stuck in the tech sector anymore. It's influencing everything. And that's why it's so important for investors to really understand AI and how it could potentially impact things. It's not enough to just invest in companies that slap AI on their website or marketing materials. You need to know how they're actually using it. What problems are they solving? And what advantages do they have over their competitors in their specific industry?
It sounds like doing your homework, your due diligence, is more important than ever in this AI age.
Oh, for sure. Investors need to be asking some tough questions like, how is this company using AI to stand out from the crowd? What about their data? Where are they getting it from? Is it secure? These are crucial things to consider before you invest your money.
It almost sounds like AI investing needs a whole new set of tools and ways of analyzing things.
Yeah, you could say that. We're still figuring out how to evaluate these AI companies and their long-term potential. Those traditional ways of valuing companies, they might not cut it anymore. We need new ways to assess the value of their data, their algorithms, and their ability to innovate in this AI space.
So it's not just about looking at financial statements anymore. It's about understanding the technology itself
Yeah.
and how it could disrupt entire markets and create new ones.
Exactly. And that's what makes this such an exciting and challenging time to be an investor. We're right on the edge of this massive technological shift. And those who can understand it and see where it's going, well, they're the ones who are going to benefit the most.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into AI stocks for 2025, what are some key takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
All right, well, first off, remember that AI isn't just some niche thing anymore. It's impacting every industry, every aspect of our lives. Second, investing in AI, you got to really understand the technology, its applications, and the specific problems companies are trying to solve with it. Don't just buy into the hype. Do your research. Look for companies with a clear vision and a real competitive edge.
Yeah, and third, those traditional ways of evaluating companies, they might not be enough anymore when it comes to AI. We need new frameworks that consider the value of data, algorithms, and a company's ability to innovate in this AI space.
This has been an incredibly informative deep dive. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us and for guiding us through this really complex and rapidly changing world of AI.
It's been my pleasure. It's a really exciting time to be involved in AI, and I encourage everyone to keep exploring and learning about this amazing technology. And to our listeners, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into AI stocks.
Right.
We hope you found it insightful and that you are now a little bit better equipped to navigate the exciting world of AI investing. Just remember to keep learning, stay curious, and always, always do your own research before you invest your hard-earned money. So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it and the safeguards we put in place. The Motley Fool article mentions a few smaller companies, some startups that are making some waves. They talk about a company called, and I hope I'm saying this right, Redacted. And they're developing these agentic AI platforms for the financial world. Have you heard of them?
Oh yeah, Redacted. They're definitely making a name for themselves in fintech. Their tech is helping financial institutions automate some really complex tasks, things like risk management and personalized customer experiences. It's a really good example of how agentic AI is being used to solve real-world problems in a very specific industry.
So they're kind of tapping into that need for automation and efficiency in the financial sector.
Absolutely. And this is a key takeaway for investors, I think. Don't get caught up in the hype around AI as a whole. Look for companies that are actually solving real problems and creating real value in specific industries.
So it's about understanding how AI is being applied and how those applications are actually making a difference in different industries.
Right, exactly. And don't forget about the competitive landscape. You got to look at what other companies are doing. Are they developing new technologies, unique stuff? Are they teaming up with the big players in their field? These are the things that can tell you if a company is in a good position to really capitalize on the growth of agentic AI.
It sounds like investing in AI, it's not for the faint of heart. What advice would you give to people who are new to AI investing?
Well, first things first, I'd say get a good understanding of the fundamentals of AI. There's a ton of resources out there, online, in books, you name it. The Motley Fool, we've been talking about them. They have some really good stuff on AI investing.
Don't be afraid to ask for help either. Talk to the experts.
Yeah, definitely. Talking to financial advisors or investment professionals who focus on AI, that can give you some really valuable insights and guidance.
All right, let's broaden things out a bit. Let's talk about the bigger picture impact of AI, not just on the stock market. We've talked about the risks and challenges, but what about the benefits? Where do you see AI having the biggest positive impact in the years to come?
AI has the potential to completely change so many parts of our lives. Healthcare, education, transportation, energy, it's all on the table. In healthcare, we're already seeing AI being used to develop new drugs, diagnose diseases earlier, and personalized treatment plans. And in education, AI can help create these adaptive learning platforms that are tailored to each student's needs.
So AI could be a key player in solving some of the world's biggest problems.
Oh, without a doubt. And that's what makes it so exciting. AI has the power to make our lives better in so many ways, but we have to make sure we develop it and use it responsibly. We have to keep ethics and sustainability in mind.
It's not just about the technology itself, it's about using it for good.
Exactly. We need to make sure AI benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Okay, before we get to our final segment, I want to go back to something you said earlier about AI potentially displacing jobs. I know this is a big concern for a lot of people. What advice would you give to someone who's worried about how AI might affect their career?
I'd say embrace lifelong learning. Focus on skills that complement AI. As AI takes over certain tasks, there's going to be a growing need for people who can work with AI, manage it, interpret its insights.
So it's about adapting to the changes in the job market and being proactive about developing the skills that are going to be in demand.
Exactly. And recognizing that in the future, working will probably involve a lot of collaboration between humans and AI. It's not about one replacing the other. It's about working together effectively.
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
We need to see AI as a tool that can help us, not a threat that's going to take our jobs.
Exactly. And if we can embrace this idea of collaboration, we can use AI to create a better future for everyone.
So you said AI is becoming a horizontal technology, kind of blurring the lines between all these traditional industries.
Yeah, it's like, think about it. A company that a few years ago would have been, a typical retailer, now they're probably using AI for everything. Operations, logistics, even customer service. So investors, they need to think beyond those old industry labels. They got to really understand how companies are using AI in their business, their actual models.
So AI isn't just like a niche investment anymore. It's woven into everything, which makes it, well, kind of hard to predict what's going to happen and like categorize companies.
Exactly. AI isn't just stuck in tech anymore, it's everywhere. And that's why it's so important for investors to get it, to really understand AI
Yeah.
and the impact it could have. It's not enough to just throw your money at companies that have AI on their website or, in their ads. You have to know how they're using it, what problems are they solving, and what makes them better than their competitors in their specific industry.
So due diligence, doing your homework, it's more important than ever in this whole AI world.
Absolutely. You got to ask the tough questions like, how is this company using AI to set themselves apart from the rest? What about their data? Where is it coming from? Is it secure? These are all things you need to think about before you invest.
It's almost like we need a whole new set of tools and ways to analyze these AI companies.
Yeah, kind of. We're still figuring it all out, how to evaluate these companies and their potential for growth. The old ways of looking at things, they might not work anymore. We need new ways to assess the value of their data, their algorithms, and how well they can innovate in the AI space.
So it's not just about financial statements anymore. It's about understanding the technology itself and how it could change everything, disrupt markets, create new ones.
Exactly, and that's what makes this such an exciting time to be an investor. But also challenging. We're on the verge of this massive technological shift. And those who can understand it, those who can see where it's going, they're the ones who are going to come out on top.
All right, so as we wrap up our deep dive into AI stocks for 2025, what are the big takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
Okay, first off, remember, AI isn't this niche thing anymore. It's everywhere. It's impacting every industry, our lives, everything.
Second, if you're thinking about investing in AI, you got to understand the tech, the applications, and the problems companies are trying to solve with it. Don't just get caught up in the excitement. Do your research. Find those companies with a real vision and a competitive edge.
And third, remember those old ways of evaluating companies? They might not be enough for AI. We need new ways to figure out how much data, algorithms, and innovation are worth.
This has been incredibly insightful. Thanks so much for walking us through this crazy world of AI.
It's been my pleasure. It really is an exciting time for AI, and I encourage everyone to keep learning and exploring.
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI stocks. We hope you found it helpful and are feeling a bit more confident about navigating the world of AI investing. Keep learning, stay curious, and do your research before you invest.